they're not everyone. This is not for everyone, right? Not everyone has a goal or is seeking to advance. But for those women that are, for those women that do wish to grow in their corporate or their 9 to 5, if you will, and they're struggling to do so, this is the mastermind for you without a shadow of a doubt. It's myself and the power of the collective is what I'm trying to create, right? A space where we're literally crowdsourcing your issue. Okay. So I just spoke with a woman on Monday where she's like, oh my goodness, this is manna from heaven. This is so timely because I've been a product owner at my company for I don't know how long, and I can't make it to senior product owner. I don't know why. I feel like I've checked all the boxes. I mean, she showed me, she physically brought up her criteria for promotion, and she's checked all the boxes. She's got all the feedback. She's done the self-evaluation. She's taken the class. She's done the cert. And I'm thinking to myself, like, yeah, what else is there? Why aren't you in your product owner?
Because some of those PDs were written with, and it's Angel, I'm sorry. I'm just like everything you're saying is like,
for you.
oh God.
You checked all the boxes, you've done all the things, and it's still not happening. Then you need to come here, right? We're going to be talking about brand management, personal board of directors, how to get your sponsor, all of that good stuff, right? And quite honestly, quite transparently, we might unpack the fact that it might be time for you to move your feet and look elsewhere, either within your department. Maybe it's time to move from underneath that supervisor. Maybe it's time to move companies, right? I mean, I hate to say it, but that might be where we're at. But getting clarity on that, getting other like-minded women weighing in on that so that you can make a decision that's best for you and your family and your lifestyle and all the things that you have going on. That's what we really need, because too often we're the only. We don't have anyone else to bounce ideas off of or to connect with in our social circle. Because again, Victoria, quite honestly, what I've seen, we tend to be the unicorns. And by that, I mean, we may be the only ones we may be the first ones in our family to graduate. We may be the first ones in our family to have an advanced degree.
Right.
We may be the first ones in our families to even work in corporate, right? So my family came from a very education, military background. I am the only individual in my family from my mother's side that worked in corporate in IT.
Wow.
So I'm not going to go call up a friend or a cousin. I'm the only child, by the way, so I don't even have a sibling to call up, right? To ask, hey, how do I navigate this problem? Hey, I'm having to help with my supervisor. How do I do that? I don't have a family of origin to go back to pull on to ask that to.
Right.
So very often we are the breadwinners of not just our immediate family, but our extended family as well. Like the paychecks we bring in don't just support us.
True.
They support
a village.
A village, yes, absolutely. Right. Grandma, grandpa getting medicine, sending nephew, helping nephew get into college, we're doing all the things for all the people. And we don't have a like-minded group of women that can pour into us. Our cup ends up getting empty and we get burnt out. And then the spiral starts. And so this mastermind is to prevent that from happening and to give real tangible help to people. So how you find it is info@angelsspeaking.com. That's 2 S's in the middle. I have a website. I know it'll probably be in the show notes.
Yes.
Where you can go to apply. And Victoria, you know what the saddest part is? I've opened it up just this week. You know what the saddest part is? I've had to convince 3 women to even apply.
Oh my God.
They read it and they say to themselves, oh my gosh, this is me. I need it. But let me call you. I calls and texts to say, you know what? I'm sitting here. I'm reading it. I really need this. Here's my situation, but I don't know if I should apply or not. Why wouldn't you apply? What are you talking about? You
do it for you. Yeah. Oh my God.
Oh, and I'm like, is it money? No. Time? No. It's the fact that they don't feel deserving. Breaks my heart. But you know what? I was there. I was there.
Mm,
I absolutely was there when I struggled, when I was struggling to get from manager to director. I knew
mm,
I needed help, but I didn't know where to go. I knew I needed an executive coach, but I looked at the price tag and I was like, ooh, $250 an hour. What am I talking about? I'm a senior manager in IT. I can
mhm.
afford $250 an hour. It wasn't about the money. I
Right.
I just was so used to my company paying for all my training, my learning, and my development that I
Mhm.
got complacent and spoiled. And and I'm thinking to myself, like, well, wait a second.
Mm.
If my company told me, hey, Angel, in order to advance from senior manager to director, you're going to need this certification, and the certification costs $2,500, and we're not going to pay for it. You best better believe I'd be finding that 2,500.
True. That is so true. It's the same thing here too, though. I exactly it's the same thing here. I think that my encouragement to anybody listening to this is invest in yourself, especially when you were talking about the community of women that you get to, because usually, like you said, often we're the only one so far. We need to have that system of support. And I love that you're going to be giving that hands-on experience, teaching tangible action points and things like that. Like, for me, it's a no-brainer. So I really strongly encourage you, like, don't let the money or whatever it is, or like your self-doubt, hold you from investing in yourself, because this is going to go a very long way in making a big difference.
Thank you. Right. I mean, like, this is in perpetuity. Like, this is, investment that's going to keep going because the
Yes.
lessons that you learn here, it's not something that they teach. I didn't learn about personal board of directors from a a stale management class, right? That my
Yeah.
company is going to send me to. No,
Hmm.
this is information that you are not going to get, even if you waited to say, you know what, I'm going to get an executive coach, which is exactly the third woman that I talked to. She
Uh-huh.
told me, she was like, my company just spent $5,000 on me last year for an executive coach. And I got a couple of tips, but quite frankly, it was a white lady. I could not relate with her. She could not relate with me. And
Yeah.
I specifically asked, I need a black female executive coach. And I
Yeah.
was like, yes, honey, you do.
Yes, because that's again, oh my goodness. Okay, I don't want to keep diverting, but or keep speaking over you. But there's something about that connection that you have with a particular person that understands what you're going through and can help you through. Oh, all right. Sorry, go ahead.
Yes,
So
yes, 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 yes,
good.
yes, and yes.
So, so good. Please, please do not limit yourself. Do not hold yourself back. Reach out to Angel. I'm going to put all of that information out there on in the show notes, in the comments, and everything like that. Please do not stop yourself from taking advantage of this. I know you're starting the program in July, right?
Yes.
Is it something that you continue to have, or is it a one-time thing? What do you have plans for that yet?
I tell you what, the immediate reaction and positive feedback that I'm getting about this is what's needed. This is filling a missing space in the executive coaching space for individuals.
Mhm.
I absolutely plan to keep going for sure. Yeah.
But I love that. But I guess I want to say that do not wait for the next round, because now is the time for you to take advantage of it. Like, you cannot keep, if you don't do something different, you can expect a change. So while Angel will continue to, have this program over and over, like, I'm really recommending and encouraging you to take advantage of it right now and do what you need to do for yourself, for your family, for your generation,
Right?
everybody around you.
Yeah, because I mean, a lot of women don't realize. But one of the things that I asked them to do in the longer program is to get feedback from their family. And
Mm.
when we did that in the 6 month, 6 week summer intensive last summer, I was
Uh-huh.
like, yeah. So we went. I want you to. Here's a little form. I want your family to provide feedback on you. A lot of women, again, myself included, I'm practicing what I preach here, don't realize how they're showing up to their families, because what happens with all that negative energy, you put on the mask to go to work, you do all
Mhm.
the things, but if you feel discontent, if you feel like your all of your skills and talents aren't being utilized to your full potential, if you
Mhm.
feel like you're being overlooked, overseen, those feelings go somewhere.
Yes.
They don't just disappear at 5 o'clock when you log off or come
Right.
home. They
Right.
tend to show up in other places.
Right.
It is not pretty. But you
Right.
have to get the feedback. You have to ask. You have to be open.
Mm.
Otherwise, you really don't know the impact of
Mm.
sitting in that seat for too long, what it has on your mental health, your emotional health, and your physical health.
Yes.
You really
Wow.
don't know. But
Right.
when you start to unpack it, which is what we do, and it's an eye opener. It was an
Wow.
eye opener for quite a few moms to hear feedback
Yes.
from their children.
Oh, yes. I can. I can. And they have a lot to say sometimes.
And they have a lot to say. They're like, you're asking? Well, mama, let me tell you, when you
Let me
come
tell
home,
you.
and you're,
Yeah.
my daughter, I did the same. And my daughter, she knew the individual. Like she knew, she would be like, are you going to have, well, let's see, I got to come up with a different name. What's his name? We'll call him Randy. She'd be
Okay.
like, are you about to have a meeting with Randy? Or did you just have a meeting with Randy? She knew, right? Because
Mm.
my reaction afterwards was going to be ugly.
Mm.
So
Wow.
they know, your family knows.
They do. They do. Because they feel it too. They are the ones that we often unknowingly, unintentionally dump a lot of those emotional
Yes.
things on. So they need together with us. So let's do it for our family, you
Let's do
know?
it. Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
Let's carve out something different for the next generation so that they don't
Yes.
have to put up with what we put up with. And
Yes.
and even if they do find themselves in that situation, they can just handle it better than we did because we're modeling new behaviors and new coping mechanisms. We're modeling the
Absolutely.
fact of saying, hey, mom paid to go get help for herself.
Yes.
Set
Yes.
that example so
Mhm.
that fast forward when your children are in the work world and out trying to adult and they come up with a challenge, they
Mhm.
know, hey, this is beyond me.
Right.
I better go get some help.
Right. Right. Okay. So I didn't mention this before, but you're an author, a best-selling author of Dents in the Selling. So tell us a little bit about that. And I know you can get it on Amazon, but just I know you talk a little bit about all of this too in the book, right?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. How Dents in the Ceiling, Tools Women and Allies Need to Break Through is all about my experience, along with the fact that I interviewed 30 other African American females who work in corporate, primarily tech or the
Mhm.
research space, a few in government. I got a cool story about a lady I talked to that worked in NASA. Uh,
Ooh.
yeah, and I just shared their vignettes of their experiences,
Mm.
throughout their careers, and then I put it in themes, right? So all the chapters have themes about being bullied at work,
Yeah.
microaggressions, being treated like the maid, sexual
Mm.
harassment, etc. But we end with resilience, right?
Mm.
We end on a note of, well, if you're going through all of that at work, why are these women staying? Right?
Mm.
If you had these experiences, why not just leave? Go, head out, go do your own thing.
Mhm.
And so I asked them that question, why do you stay? Right.
Mm.
And every single answer was all extremely altruistic. It was all about legacy, building up the next generation. A lot of strength in terms of, I love the work that I do, and I'm not going to let anybody kick me out from doing it,
Mm.
that
Yes.
sort of thing.
Yeah.
So very specific tips and tricks and very empowering. But throughout the book, I wanted to make sure at the end of each chapter, we're not only giving specific actions to women who are reading the book, but to our active allies.
Oh
Because we
yes.
know, Victoria, we are not going to crack this nut by ourselves, no way, shape, or
True.
form. We
Right.
absolutely need our majority counterparts, men and women.
Mm-hmm.
White women are not exempt from this,
Right.
right?
Right.
To read those chapters and read the ending where we specifically focus on active allyship behaviors that they can do.
Mm-hmm.
And I even have a free companion journal that they can have a workbook that they can work through. And I used two white men from my professional network to
Mm-hmm.
review the book and make corrections and go over it. So they themselves have gone through the workbook
That's good.
for active allies, so that they can work through, how can I show up different? How can I
Yes.
dismantle systems of exclusion for everyone so that my sons and daughters
Mhm.
don't have to be in this situation either, right? This is for everyone. This is a collective. We're all in this together.
Right.
Um, I have a good friend, Melita Carter, who in
Mhm.
her speech for she focuses on young children, creating young entrepreneurs, right? So like she's got like a pizza shop, an ice cream truck, and all that. She does phenomenal work in the community. Shout out to Melita.
Yeah.
And in her talk, she ended with saying, "It's not your fault, but it is your fight."
That's good.
And
Yeah.
that has resonated with me.
Mhm.
That hit me to the core. So anyone who is an ally that's on the fence that says, "Hey, look, I'm not upholding any systems of oppression. I might be benefiting from it, but I'm not actively doing anything to harm." My black colleagues or my Latina colleagues or my
Right.
or women that I work with. I'm a nice guy or I'm a nice lady. I'm not doing
Mhm.
anything.
Mm.
Um, I That's what I say to them. It's
Yes.
like you may not see it,
Mhm.
you may not feel it, it may not be impacting you on a daily basis or impacting your family negatively, but it is impacting the community. It is impacting your fellow sister and brother. So it
Right.
may not be your fault. We all of us are here now.
Right.
So let's roll up our sleeves and fight together for inclusion.
That's incredible. Yeah, because there's a place for them too. There's something that they need to be doing to they could be doing to help. So, wow, really, really good conversation today. Thank you so much for just impacting my life, and just sharing with us from your heart. Like, do you have any last words?
I just want to say thank you, Victoria, for creating this platform for myself and particularly other women entrepreneurs who have a passion for doing something right to make the community, make their lives, make work better for others. You providing a platform for us to get the word out. You fighting the good fight, helping us, connecting with us, creating a space for us to a space where we feel seen and heard and validated. We
Mm.
don't get that often. And so thank you for taking the time and using your spiritual gifts and talent to do that.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. All
Absolutely.
right. Well, that's it for today, but make sure you stay tuned for the next episode.